And this is our height for the cone. So you'll notice they have the same radius and the same height, doing that on purpose. It says that the volume of a cone is 1/3 of the area of the base times the height. Why does that make sense given what that demonstration we just did? Tyler, why does that make sense?
Because it takes three cones to fill up a cylinder thingy.
Right. So if I take the volume of a cylinder and take 1/3 of that, that's what the volume of the cone is going to be, because it takes 3 cones to fill up a cylinder. So a cone is 1/3 of the cylinder with the same radius and height. So I'm going to write down my formula. The volume of a cone is 1/3 the area of the base. What shape is the base?
Circle.
It's a circle. And so the area of the base is still going to be pi r squared. And the height is still just h. So pi r squared times the height. Do you see something that looks familiar? Pi r squared. This whole thing should look familiar. Pi r squared h. What is that?
The volume for a cylinder.
It's the volume for a cylinder. And so a cone is almost the same as a cylinder, but it's 1/3 of it because it takes 3 cones to fill up a cylinder. Okay? So remember it this way. You can also think about it like this if you like this formula better, which I really don't, but pi r squared h divided by 3, the volume of a cylinder divided by 3 gives me my volume of my cone. It's the same thing.
Oh, so that's how you do it?
So we need to write down our formula. Volume is 1/3 the volume of a cylinder, pi r squared h. One-third area of the base times the height. Well, let's go to our diagram. Grace, what's my radius?
It's 9.5 millimeters.
Yep. Which means my height's got to be 16.8 because it goes from the bottom, very top. And it has a right angle. So we're just going to put those numbers in just like we did yesterday. 1/3. The only thing that changes is the letters we're replacing. So volume is equal to 1/3 times pi times the radius squared. So times 9.5 squared. And my height is 16.8. You can also put this in parentheses. It means the same thing. Just multiplying it all up. Then you just have to go to your calculator. Before you do anything, though, I would go ahead and figure out what is 9.5 squared.
90.25.
You missed it. Is it 90.25? Okay. So let's rewrite it before we type it in. 1/3 times pi times 90.25 times 16.8. Then we're going to go to our calculator and type it in. After we type it in our calculator, we should get 1,587.8 millimeters cubed. George, what's my radius for this cone? 4.5. Zachary, what's my height?
12 feet.
Yep. So we're going to write down our formula because that's what smart people do. They write down the formula before they use it. 1/3 pi r squared h. And then put in what you know. You know the radius is 4.5 and the height is 12. So that's the only thing that's going to change. 1/3 pi times 4.5 squared times 12. You should figure out what 4.5 squared is first. Sebastian, could you type that in your calculator and tell me what it is?
That is 20.25.
Thank you. So times 20.25 times 12. I put in parentheses, it just means multiplication. Again, go to your calculator now and just type in 1/3 times pi times 20.25 times 12. Or you could do pi times 20.25 times 12 equals, and then divide that by 3. We should get 254.5 feet cubed.